All right, so here we go, vlog time. One of my extracurricular activities is car stuff, and I am heading to CamaroCon in Las Vegas in my 2018 ZL1 1LE, but I'm not towing it. So that's gonna make things quite interesting. I got new merch. It's available now, crowdme.com/JayzTwoCents. We got zip-up hoodies, we got tri-blend, we got a new logo. I digress, since 2012, it's a digress logo. You guys have been asking for that. Anyway, we got all kinds of stuff. Zip-up hoodies, beanies, polos. Don't take my word for it, because obviously I can't do this ad. So just look in the description below and you guys will find the link. Thanks. So the issue is that I have a high horsepower ZL1 with E85. E85 fuel mileage is pretty bad because you sacrifice horsepower for fuel economy. And yes, although this is flex fuel, I don't want to put any 91 in it and dilute the mix later on because it takes a few tanks to get it all out. I won't go through all that before I do my dyno pulls at CamaroCon. So I want all the horsepower and none of the 91 at all in there. So we are taking just this car, which means we've got quite a bit of stuff crammed in it. So in the back here, we've got luggage. My wife's going with me. There's her stuff in the front seat. Laptop for my tuner because it's a new laptop for him. And then detailing stuff in that box. And then in the trunk of the car, spare fuel, chairs, sandbags to hold down our easy up. Fortunately, my tuner is taking my canopy down with him and his trailer. Fire extinguisher for obvious reasons. And then emergency kit, towels, and sandbags to hold down our easy up. So I'm gonna be hypermiling because although Baker has like 20 Tesla charging stations and diesel, Baker, which is a little bit more than halfway, has no flex fuel whatsoever. And there's none in Barstow. So there's none at State Line either. So I've got to make it from Victorville, which is my last fuel stop, or my first fuel stop, all the way to Tropicana inside of Las Vegas. That's 181 miles from that fuel station. Fun fact, I get about 190 miles to the tank. Figured it'd be fun just to kind of vlog getting there if I can. Plus it's windy as hell. There's wildfires everywhere. We picked a hell of a day to travel. Sounds like America. One of the things to point out with the gas tank on this car is, so it said half a tank, or just above a half a tank when I got to the pump, but it took 7 gallons. One of the things that this car has, I think a lot of modern cars have, is not just a fuel sender unit based on the float, but also it has predictive miles per gallon. So it's like, oh, based on the last X amount of miles and the way you've been driving, this is what you're gonna get. Well, let's just say this car's not a commuter, and when I drive it, I drive the shit out of it. So I'm expecting better gas mileage than I think I'm gonna get better gas mileage than I'm expecting on this trip. I've got the car set into snow and ice mode, and what that basically does is it completely dulls the throttle. You'd be surprised, like things like turning off rev match or auto rev match, all saves fuel, because of course it blips the throttle every time you downshift. So if you do all these little things, then I'm curious as what we will hypermile at. But right now, at an average of about 30 miles an hour driving out of the pump, I'm at 7.7 miles per gallon on the street. So we'll see what happens once we get in the highway. All right, so all this traffic obviously isn't helping our situation here. Because of all the fires out in the Newhall Pass and Sylmar, the 15 is one of the only ways people have to go today to try and get north. So we are currently 11.3 miles in. I'm averaging 12.8. I was getting like 16, 17 on the highway when we were moving at highway speeds. And as you can see, my fuel gauge is already starting to move. So this is gonna kind of skew the numbers. So I found the perfect vehicle to hypermile behind. This is some big Penhall truck thing. He's actually moving pretty quickly. We're going about 69 miles per hour. And as you can see, as such, I'm currently getting 36 miles to the gallon. So that's hypermiling. And I kind of wish I had one more gear. I feel like if I had a 7th gear, it'd be like even better. All right, so we just made it to Vegas. 13.2 gallons from our last stop, which was 45 miles into our trip. And our total odometer, 227 miles. What that kind of means is if I hadn't stopped and put that 3 gallons in, I could have made it all the way through. And probably with a little bit more than 3 gallons left, because I have a 19-gallon tank, so 13.1 gallons minus 19 plus the neck. We went about almost 10 miles out of the way to get to that fuel stop in Victorville. And then I stopped in Baker to try and pour in the 4 gallons in the trunk and realized the fill neck thing was just leaking all over my car because of the angle I couldn't get it at. So I bet you I could have made it here with 4 gallons or more to spare. It's amazing what driving it like a grandma will do. That's not why we built it. All right, so we made it to Vegas. We figured what better place to start our GM-based weekend than at Shelby, America. So this is John. John's one of my followers.
Hello, guys.
He works here at Shelby America, and he offered to bring us in and have us take a look at the museum stuff, kind of take a look around the shop. And he said they have 2 GT500s here. So, do you guys do trade-ins? I mean, so we got this guy right here. This is a 2018 Super Snake?
2018 Super Snake wide body.
If you guys don't know what a Super Snake is, you should go and look it up. Basically, you can get a regular car, and then they'll take it here and do all that to it. You can see it's wide bodied. What else is done? So it's supercharged?
Supercharged. We do rear fenders, front fenders, upgraded suspension, upgraded brakes, upgraded cooling, change out all the interior to cat skins, just make them a lot of fun.
So basically it's kind of like everything I kind of did to my car, only it looks way cooler, I think, in my opinion. Don't get triggered if you're a Chevy fan, but I really love the styling of these. And that's not me being a trader. That's just me being a car guy. I mean, look at this. Look at those wheels. What wheels are those? Are they custom for you guys?
Yep, those are custom for us.
Hey, look. Available for purchase. Got this kind of a octagonal shaped tailpipe. Oh, Borla. So if you look closely at the black on the stripes, I don't know if the camera's picking up. Oh yeah, there it is. It's actually a metallic. So there's metallic flake in the black stripes, showing you that these are painted. They're not decals. So yeah, they're not going to fade or peel on you. All right, so maybe you're into older stuff. Just a couple of cool cars here. Aluminum polished Cobras. This is kind of like, when you think Cobra, I think this is what people immediately think of. The blue with the white stripes. So here's one of the competition cars, 427. Well, they're all 427, the actual ones, right?
The actual ones are going to be 427s. A lot of the cars here, you'll see that they do not have motors because we can't sell the car with a motor without having to do crash testing. And we aren't going to crash test one of these. They're too beautiful.
So even to this day, given its age, it still can't be sold.
Correct.
Even as a used car, right? Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you can buy the shell and then buy an engine.
And we'll put it in for you, but you have to buy them separately.
Oh, okay. So these are also known as the ankle burners. Guaranteed to burn your ankles at least once or twice before you learn. I've only sat in one of these cars once and I experienced the very same thing. I stepped out and immediately burned the back of my Achilles heel. It's a twin supercharged? Oh yeah, because it's dual carburetor. Look at that. These cars were so ahead of their time. And I think the styling still holds up today. So here we got an original GT350. Got another GT500. Well, two GT500s here, right?
Yep. The white one is a one-of-one built specifically for junior tire testing in the 60s. That is a $2.2 million car.
Again, just sitting here. Well, I guess you can experience that sort of stuff at Peterson as well. And you guys have some cars in Peterson too. I know that because I've seen them there. If you've never been to Peterson Automotive Museum in Los Angeles, you should go and check it out. Do the vault tour. You'll see stuff like this that you don't get to see with general admission. Unfortunately, you also can't share it because you can't take pictures in the vault either. A lot of that is too, there's a lot of celebrities and politicians and other high profile people that will store their cars in the vault at Peterson, and then Peterson takes care of the cars for you. And then we've got a lot of more modern muscle over here. Some more Super Snakes and other Cobras and such. GT500 over there. Yeah. I'm in like car heaven. Why does none of this exist like this for GM?
So we got a car here, and then we got this one here, and it's red. Anyway, hi, my name's Jay, and I forgot to turn the microphone on, so there isn't any audio here. So yeah, this one's like the red car, but silver. So that means it's a different color. And I guess this is how you squeeze a boot.
All right, so we're at the hotel, and we're getting ready to go out for a nice evening out for our 14-year anniversary, because CamaroCon not only fell on CamaroCon weekend, it fell on our 14-year wedding anniversary. So what good husband am I? I'm like, let's go do car stuff. Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow at the event. All right, so we made it to CamaroCon, and we are going to be starting things off the right way by getting some Dyno Jet numbers. I know I said earlier that it was a Dyno pack. I thought it was a mobile Dyno pack, but it turns out it's a Dyno Jet. So temperature right now is probably in the low 70s. IATs will be pretty good. So I guess we'll see how things go. I'm hoping, I know it should be north of 700 as long as nothing's wrong, but 750 is kind of what I think we should be at. So I guess we'll see how it goes. All right, so the dyno numbers aren't exactly what I was hoping they were going to be because we were spinning on the dyno. In fact, they even had me sit on the back of the dyno to try and keep the car from spinning. So 735 wheel horsepower was spinning and 647 torque was spinning, which is funny because that's like 70 torque lower than my last dyno run, which wasn't spinning. And in fact, I can show you the two different dyno graphs to compare so you can see the difference what spinning looks like and not. So what we're gonna do now is we are gonna go and Red Barn Racing's 68 Camaro, the orange one which is now driven away somewhere, is getting ready to go out onto the drag strip. So we have our vest and our media credentials, and we're gonna go down and actually film him from the staging lines and the tree. So let's head out to the drag strip. Now I know a lot of you are probably disappointed that I'm not road racing the car here, but and I can't remember if I said it yesterday, because I didn't tow the car, I don't want to drive it on track and potentially break it and then be stuck 250 miles away from home trying to figure out how to get a car home, blah, blah, blah. Since it's our anniversary weekend here, my wife and I, on our wedding anniversary, 14 years, we decided to come out early and then leave after the event. So trailering it and then dealing with a trailer around Vegas was not going to be fun. So we are pretty much at the staging lanes now at LVMS, and we're going to see how the Red Barn Racing 68 Camaro does. It's a naturally aspirated LS7, so we will see how that goes.
With our open chassis too.
All right, so there goes Mike in his orange 68, naturally aspirated LS7 carburetor. None of the modern doohickeys.
Lane number 4, stock to lane number 5, V6 unlimited to lane number 6, and V6 modified.
I don't think something was running right, considering he did like an 11.2 at like 86, so clearly he let off. Apparently what happened with Mike earlier, he was running extremely rich, so he was having to lean it out a little bit, and we were going to see how he does against his feet. So this is another friend of mine right here, Maple Fed on Instagram. You guys can check his car out if you want. He's a 6-speed centrifugal supercharger. Grudge match against his friend in the They're doing a rev competition right now, but they're doing the V6 rev competition. I guess we'll wait for the V8s. So that last car that just ran belongs to Matt Everett, who is the organizer of this event. He's got a channel called Lethal Garage or Lethal Camaro. He's all the lethals, lethal truck, all kinds of lethal stuff. I'll put a link down below. That's his first pass on this motor that was just rebuilt literally at the last second. Prior to this, he did a 9.8, which is a personal best at only 125 because he clearly let out at the 1,000 foot because it's a shakedown. So not only did he do a 9.8 at 125 because he let out at the 1,000 foot, apparently he ran too fast. He's probably ran too fast for his classing. So they're gonna be having a little bit of a talk with him. That might be the only run he gets to do today, which kind of sucks. Maybe he shouldn't have lifted at the 1,000 foot to see what his trap would have been. Probably would have been deep 9s, no problems there. So we just had the winner get drawn for that computer that I built. So I just talked with the winner of the computer. Actually is with one of the vendors here. So as you can see, he's walking away with it right there. He is a happy camper. And what I love is exactly like I thought might happen. He's not into computers. He's kind of thought about it. I don't know. He's just kind of like, I think computers are cool and stuff. I don't do much with it. I'm more of a car guy. So now he's super excited because now he gets to be involved in computers and stuff. So I'm excited that the person that won the computer is not necessarily a follower of the channel, but somebody that I brought into this world now through that raffle. So CamaroCon day 1, or 2019 day 1 is pretty much wrapping up. I'm shooting into the sun like a newbie. I'm sunburned. You can see my head's all sticky because it's red. I look like a lobster. My wife is burned too. It's maybe October, but it's still the desert. And we have tomorrow to go, so let's see how red we can be by the end of the day. I think I'll be about as red as this canopy, so. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. All right, so here we are, day 2 of CamaroCon in Las Vegas, and I decided that I'm gonna do a thing. Something I haven't done in the 1.5 years I've had this car. Through all the modifications and all the power adders that guy right there built. That guy, he's the guy who built my car. We are going to send it down the drag strip. Everyone's always asking me, Jay, what's your car do in the quarter? Let me tell you right now, don't get excited. Don't expect anything amazing. The torque management system in this car does not want to let you launch it. It wants to save the drivetrain at the expense of not letting you get a good 60 foot unless you hit like this very narrow window of opportunity. I'm also running an R888R street tire, so don't expect anything good there. The suspension on this car, the DSSVs and the dynamic spool valves, the multimatics, the arms, everything on this car is built and spec'd for road racing. I have a big ass wing. I have canards. This car is about downforce. If I can get like a 2.0 60 foot, I would be excited with this because sub 2s with having never launched this car with a street tire, I don't think it's gonna happen. Now I'm no noob to drag racing, but I am a noob to drag racing this car. So yeah, so we'll just see how that goes. Past tech with flying colors, there's nothing really super crazy about it, so there's no reason why I shouldn't have. And then what we're gonna do later in this video, I know I still haven't gone through the rundown of parts. There's been more upgrades to this car since the last time I ever showed it to you guys. We're full stage 4 now. Basically, this is the anti-drag car. So I figure why the hell not just send it?
It's Vegas, right?
Yeah, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. All right, so my first time drag racing this car. I have not drag raced in 18 years. Left lane here, actually did a .853 on a Pro Tree. I wasn't expecting Pro Tree. I thought it was gonna be a street, so did all right. .85, could get that a little lower, but I don't think it's terrible. 2.1 60 foot because I wheel hopped, so I had to get out of it and get back in it, and then I wheel hopped again grabbing second, so I had to get completely out of the throttle. Still managing 11.5 at 131, so that mile per hour tells me I should be in the 10s with a little bit of driver practice. So we will we'll work on it a little bit today. All right, so it's the end of the day here at day 2 of CamaroCon, and I gotta tell you, the car did a heck of a lot better than I was expecting because it is not set up for launching So 1.7, not amazing for an automatic car. It is for a manual, but you know what I haven't done yet? I haven't talked to you guys about the mods in this car, and I kind of keep the car like more to myself because the internet and its opinions. But we're gonna go ahead and we'll do kind of a rundown of the parts here. So the stock power plant's an LT4, found in all the ZL1s. The 1LE is no different, no more power, 650 horsepower, 650 torque from the factory. But I'm at like a stage 3.5, stage 4 at this point. It's a stage 2 cam with E85, so it's got a lethal Camaro flex fuel kit on it. DSX low side, so it's an extra fuel pump because we have to feed the LT4 high side pump. It's a direct injected, not direct port, but direct injected. So we have a high side pump, which is high pressure. DSX feeding it on the low side to make sure it doesn't run out of fuel. So we have 2 electric fuel pumps feeding the high side. We have the stage 2 cam because we have 36% additional fuel load because we need more fuel pressure, more fuel flow for the E85 for obvious reasons. We got American Racing long tube headers, which are now ceramic coated. We did that recently because they were getting pretty warm. You see them down there, they're silver, so nothing too special there. Stock upper pulley, because again, this is built mostly for road racing, not drag racing. So stock upper pulley, so we have plenty of bite for the belt. Smaller pulleys up here have less surface area for the belt to touch. The teeth tend to be a lot more aggressive, so they get a lot harder on belts. You even see like belt, oh, there's belt built up material on here too, but it'll be like super black right there. But I do have a 955 lower, or 15% lower. I think it's a 955 size. So making the pulley bigger on the bottom makes the one on the top effectively smaller in comparison. So it's kind of like changing gears on your bike. So we've also got part of the last stage of upgrades that I did. We've got this catch can was already always here. It's just a vented catch can that was custom made. We've got Rotofab 5-inch intake, the big gulp, feeding a 103mm K-Tech throttle body into a completely custom ported, not by Kong or anything like that, but Red Barn Racing, the guy who built my engine, did the porting for this too. So we got a full ported snout and supercharger with the Nitrous Express lid. So no, I'm not running nitrous, although it is already ported for it. As you can see, you got the fittings right there on the side. Could run meth. Again, road race car, no reason for meth. But it's got better airflow in the center right here. You see this channel, how it dips down? So as the air comes up and then has to make a loop again, goes in there, goes through the rotors, comes up and has to make a 180. That's a smoother transition. Plus it makes the supercharger super loud. I've got things that you can't see. So this part of the fender right here it's a water tank. It's a custom water tank so that we have plenty of intercooler water to keep as cool as possible, increasing the volume, which takes it longer to get to full temp, which means longer road racing sessions without getting too hot. We've got this reservoir on the top here, which gives us again more volume and an easy way to fill it because, well, that's the fender and that's not the highest point. Factory had like a Schrader valve right here, which was a real pain in the ass. So that's Pro Speed intercooler with a CNR Racing radiator core for the supercharger. Behind that, which you can see way back in there, sort of, it's a very large CNR Racing radiator, so we keep things nice and cool. You can see it right here. You can see the thickness of that rad, all aluminum construction. So there it is. It's not a whole lot on this car, and we're running 10.8 in the quarter mile on a road racing car on a Toyo R888R street tire on a 19-inch wheel. So you can, I just had been not participating in any of the drag racing stuff that the group of people I hang out with do because I was just always like, this is not a drag car, there's no point. But I found out any car can be a drag car technically, even slow ones. Even road racing cars have a lot of horsepower. So it's all in the way you drive it, and I've got to become a better driver. It's getting loud, everyone's starting up their cars. We're gonna leave, the event's over, so we're gonna go hang out and stuff. But I just thought I would share this experience with you guys and see what you guys thought about this sort of stuff. This is kind of like my second life. Computers are my job now, and this stuff, this car stuff, this is my hobby now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go bug Mike real quick and see if he's got anything to say. So I'm gonna throw a camera in your face.
Oh God.
This is Mike Franz, Red Barn Racing.
How y'all doing?
I will link his Instagram below. I've shared him before. I'm gonna turn this way so Kyle's so damn loud. He's the guy who's done all the work to my car, because just like you guys have me build your computers because I'm an expert, he's the expert, and that's an expensive learning mistake.
Yes.
So any thoughts on how the car performed today, expectations versus...
It exceeded expectations for sure.
Because you've not really had a road racer ask you to build a road race car and then come drag race it, right?
No. There's one other guy, but he's kind of extreme with his car. a lot more extreme. Your car was really built for road racing and stuff like that, so it's more of a, it is a true road race car that legit went 1080s today.
1080s. Jeez, Kyle. If only noise made you faster.
The guy comes and does 10.8s for the first time, starts talking shit. That's me, by the way, not me. Kyle, not Kyle.
So what about the mile per hour? What are your thoughts on that?
The mile an hour, that's all a testament to how much horsepower the car actually makes. That's a lot of mile an hour, especially in this DA that we had going on today. A lot of cars that were not quite as fast that they usually are here.
All right, so one last question, because again, I haven't drag raced in 18 years. 2001 was the last time I drag raced. So,
wow.
and it was not a manual car. This is my first time ever drag racing a manual. I've never drag raced a manual before.
Oh, wow.
So, how much does 60 foot play into the trap speed?
60 foot into the trap speed, not a whole lot. You can really spin and get a little more mile an hour out of it.
So is that why every time I spun, I had a 133, but every time I was faster trap time, I had a lower mile per hour?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was trying to get that 1080 out of 133, but I guess that wasn't going to happen unless I had something else happening mid-track, I guess. I don't know.
Exactly. You can spin and go a little bit faster, but the 60 foot really ties into your overall time. So for every 10th you can cut out of your 60 foot is 2/10 on the top end. And
I went from a 2.1 to a 1.7.
And that showed drastically in your...
Because I went from a 2.5 to a 10.8.
Yeah.
Or 2.5. 11.5 to a 10.8.
Yep. And that showed, so that those 3/10 turned into 6/10 on the big end.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. CamaroCon 2019's at an end. Look, he doesn't only just work on Friends and Stuff cars. He works on anyone's cars that are not doing stupid things in California.
Yes.
We'll leave it that way. So, like I said, his Instagram is down below. Even if you're not in the area, you want to ship your car to the guy, he'll talk with you, consult with you. He consulted with me a lot. I tend to nag, and he answered all my questions over the last year now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a year in May. So over a year, you've been working on my car. And as you can see, it's highly capable. So if you guys are looking for automotive work, performance stuff, especially domestics, then hit him up on Instagram. So thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jay.
We were going to grudge race for the hell of it, see how badly he would beat me, but then they shut down the right lane, so I solo ran.
I was disappointed in that.
I was expecting to be at least from here to maybe the dealer cars behind you.
I'll probably look closer than that.
You think so?
Yeah, we probably get to the 10.
Okay, I'll take it. All right, guys. If you're wondering what his car is, it's that 68 I've shown 100 times on Instagram. That's his. That's the Red Barn car right there. So, all right. See you guys on Instagram. See you in the next one.